we have You Are the Miserable Uncut Edition by t+pazolite from the game Lanota. Once again, everybody, this is a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here is to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what is happening here musically. So if you like the sound of that, make sure you are... Oh, wrong button. Make sure you're following the channel. Subscribe to the channel, whatever term you want to use. Like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, all that good stuff. Become a member, one of them paid subscriptions. Do not compromise your economic well-being to support this channel, but support this channel if you can. It's awesome if you give me money, but don't do it at your own expense. And of course, 2 disclaimers. Number 1, this is my first time hearing this track ever, so I will be pausing a lot. I'm going to be pausing a lot as I will be pointing things out as I hear them. Number 2, this is happening live on stream. You just saw me fumble right there. So, one take, live on stream, whatever happens, happens. So, with that, let me just copy this, paste it here, and let's get started. You Are the Miserable. Let's see what we got. Okay, so we start with an organ, a synth playing an organ sample, and it gives us our motif. The motif is being the smallest version of your musical idea, the seed from which everything else comes from. And in this case, we are using an organ. So once again, when it comes to instrumentation and orchestration, let me just from the previous video. So in music, we have the concept of orchestration. Orchestration is the study of picking the right instrument for the right purpose, whether it's sound or the right psychological response. You can also call this instrumentation. Like, these are interchangeable terms. It's just that if you tell a classical person, like an academic with a PhD that gets... like, you know, that listens to, like, friggin' Prokofiev or like, Schoenberg, and you tell them instrumentation, they're gonna get mad at you. That's a good thing. So, we have an organ, right? And the concept of the organ has always been that of something far higher than yourself. Because when it comes to these keyboard instruments, of course, you have, like, the modern, nowadays, electronic keyboards, which can be fairly compact. Like, you can put one in a dorm, in a college dorm, and it's fine. You can fit a piano in most houses or apartments, but an organ, a pipe organ, that is something that you need a massive building. You need to design entire buildings around. Like, that's something you need that you can only do if you're the church or a symphony hall or an aristocrat or something like that, right? So that gives you that idea. It relates in your head that overwhelming hierarchy of something so further up than you that it incites instinctively that relation with us. So let's see where it goes. Let's see where it goes. Really cool. Very cool. Ooh, and we introduce a little bit of a percussive echo kind of thing. And we have another layer of synths doing arpeggios. Arpeggio, of course, oh, wrong button. Arpeggio with 2 E's. An arpeggio is when you play a chord one note at a time. It's really fun, especially if you do it fast. So we have those 2 aspects. And the organ is now holding those massive chords. Let's see where it goes. And we're adding more synths to the mix. I don't know what this is called, but that sound when you have in electronic music and how things are slowly becoming more and more active. I call it like EQing, but I'm pretty sure it has a name of how you phase these sounds in, that they sound fairly obtuse at the beginning and they get clearer over time. It's such a cool aspect of electronic music. It's really, really cool. Let's see. That did not go where I thought it was gonna go. That did not. And MVP, don't request songs yet. Okay, so that... We went for a complete change of instrumentation. We're going more for like a marimba, like a xylophone kind of thing with a couple of more synths. We've sped up this whole thing by a lot. We're doing a reduced version of the melody that we have. So reduction is when you take that motif that we had to start with the organ, which was, you know, very nice and slowly paced, very much drip-fed into us, and now it's faster. It's the same musical idea, it's the same motif, it's just faster. It's done a reduction. Let's see where this goes, because this is very, very cool. Let's see. I love the accents being done by the drums there. So what you heard the kick drum doing over there, the bass drum, that is an accent. That we're giving it a specific time. So it's not an actual beat. It's just done for dramatic effect, accentuating specific points in the melody. And that was just really well done. And now we change over to piano. Let's see where it goes. Back to the organ. Okay, so now we're swapping back and forth. This time the organ stayed with us, which is pretty cool. But I like how the organ was playing chords, but the higher note was still outlining that motif in a slower way. That one is the opposite of reduction. That one was elongation. So elongation is the opposite of reduction. We took the motif and part of the motif and we just stretched it to last longer, and this time we were playing it as full chords. This is wild. Let's see. Nice. So yeah, we're doing the motif. We're doing it a lot faster than before, and every few repetitions we are adding a few more notes to increase the pace. Other than that, the kick drum has now established a very stable rhythm, and now we're just basically doing doublings. We're doing the orchestration. So doubling is when more than one instrument is doing the same thing, and we're having this like quasi-xylophone kind of... It's not a marimba, it's kind of like a xylophone. It sounds a lot more percussive than the organ. It's really cool. I had an obsession with this track when I first heard it. I can see why. It's really cool. Yeah, and in between, I like how we are properly giving a good focus to the melodies here. So the drums are not interrupting in the least, and they get out of the way whenever we're highlighting something really cool in the melody. This is really well made.
You are
Back
now
to the...
entering a world from which you will never return. You may choose to embrace it or fight it, but you cannot change it, nor can...
So we had this moment before. There was just no audio sample. So bringing it again with a full recapitulation, it's the exact same thing, but we put something on top of it. And in this case, it was a recording. This is such a clever tool for, especially in electronic music. That's such a clever thing that electronic musicians ended up doing, that it's a very good way of passing time and filling up time in the track, while also giving you that dramatic sense. Because now we've gone from this music being its own little piece of music that is already doing the things in the game to becoming a score to what is playing back, to that sample that is playing back. Which is, you know, the whole point of video game scoring is to score, and film scoring, TV, music, TV shows, all that kind of stuff, is to accentuate what is happening. And in this case, you're giving me that extra recording of a conversation being had, but with the music in the background, which, by the way, that would be called underscore. There are two types of scores that you can have. You can have underscore and you can have source music. That's the overall two types of scoring that there is. Underscore is when the music is behind the fourth wall, which is the characters speaking it cannot hear it. Source music is that it's within the walls of the play. And I think that's the simplest way I can explain it. So an underscore is whatever the characters can't hear. A source music is what the characters can hear. And there are times where they overlap. Like, for example, in The Lord of the Rings, it's the easiest example I can think of. Return of the King, when I always forget whether it's Merry or Pippin, but, you know, it's the scene with the Dining King and Faramir is about to head out and do a suicide charge to retake, to go and try and retake the city by the river that the orcs have taken. And he asks, I think it was Merry, to sing a song in the dining hall, and it switches back and forth between the dining hall of Merry singing and the suicide charge of Faramir and all the knights. For Faramir, that's underscore. For Merry and the king, that is source music. And it's just bouncing back and forth, and it is doing something called dramatic irony. So dramatic irony is when the music does not fit what is happening on screen, and that discrepancy adds even more drama. So in the example of The Lord of the Rings, it's one of the best scenes in the entire trilogy, yeah. It's one of the best scenes. It's insane how powerful it is, and it's because of that dramatic irony. Because in this sense, you would expect the score of having Faramir charging to be this, like, grandiose, tragic, but still horns blazing, trumpets, trombones, French horns, very loud, very, very tense and everything. But instead, we are getting this solo singer, solo vocalist, giving us this super sad, tragic song that is supposed to be a folk tale about, like, it's just a sad moment. And it's that discrepancy of everything with the other everything else, like all the undertones of the king being just that heartless bastard that he is, that it just accentuates that dramatic irony. It just gets so much stronger that it's just insane. Like, the only other game I've played where something like that happens, when there's both a reliable underscore and dramatic irony happening at the same time, is Metal Gear Solid 4, the microwave scene. If you know, you know. Because it's like showing both scenes at the same time, and the scene with Solid Snake is dramatic irony. No, the scene of Solid Snake is underscore, and the everything else happening is dramatic irony. I'm pretty sure they took that from The Lord of the Rings. But video games have different technology, so yeah. So yeah, there's that. Let's go back to the song. I just wanted to point out how we are now underscoring this sample of this recording. I went down off on a limb, so yeah. So it was solid. Yes, it was. So yeah, it's a recapitulation. Building up. Where are you gonna go with this? Nice. So, we move to a new drum beat, but we keep the same motif, that elongated motif that we had before, and we do a colloquial term of mine, which is a flying melody. Colloquial just means there's no academic term to it, or at least I'm not using it for the purposes of illustrating this. What do I call a flying melody? You have a busy bass line and drums. That's what we have. And then high up, you have, maybe even the middle section too, but high up, you have a simpler, slower melody that is just flying and soaring above the complex landscape that it is. I call that a flying melody, and it is such a powerful tool that is what we're hearing right now. Let's see where it goes. And it's still playing the motif. Okay, we repeat, and we do a doubling. We just bring a violin, and we do a doubling. Doubling, of course, more than one instrument playing the same thing in their own range. The violin is playing it on the lower end of the violin, but we're still having those chimes high up top. This is really good. With those little moments of electronic music in between. Back we bring this, we jump straight back into this. another recapitulation. We did this earlier, but now that we have this little moment in between, the context changes completely. Let's see. Oh, it's really good. We add an extra bass to the back, but we are still repeating. And I like this kind of stuff because then you're just repeating, but you're adding layers of music. Because once again, when you're making music, you want to keep a very careful balance between what is familiar and what is new. Too much repetition means too much familiar. You bore the listener, they tune out. Too much new stuff too fast, you risk overwhelming the listener, they tune out. So this kind of composition that you are recapitulating constantly, that recapitulation just means you're repeating something, and you just add and just slide in more layers one at a time, is really, really effective, and that's what we're seeing here. It's really good. Really cool, yeah. Ah, those moments. Back to the organ we go. So the organ has now gone to become an accompaniment instrument. It's no longer in the front. And we have this new synth bringing us a fresh tone that is in the foreground, still doing variations. Or I think it's the same motif as we've had before. It's just that everything else is slower now. Let's see where it goes. Oh, very dramatic. So now we are finally giving a proper spotlight to this melody, because this whole time we've had this melody kind of competing with the drum and the bass. Now it's not. That's a very, very good way of building tension and drama. Just give it all of the attention. Let's see where it goes. But the climax should be soon. High note. We're building towards a drop. Even further up. Okay, number one, we used one of the most powerful tools that a musician can have, silence. A split second was more than enough to create that. And now we've moved to another new rhythm. Because now we've gone to triplets. Let me go through the concept real quick, all right? So, the concept of triplets, it's something that we get in rhythm. So, rhythm, we use time signatures. That's our that's how we subdivide rhythm. Upper number, number of notes. Lower number, the type of notes in a bar or measure. Those are interchangeable terms. In English, it's easy to remember. Whole notes is 1, half notes is 2, quarter notes is 4. Imagine I can write, right? Eighth notes is 8, 16th notes is 16, so on and so forth. So 4/4 equals 4 quarter notes in a bar. Now, here's the thing, right? You count these. These are the on beat 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, one whole note is made out of 2 half notes, 1 half note is made out of 2 quarter notes, 2 quarter notes, 2 eighth notes, 1 quarter note is 2 eighth notes, 1 eighth note, 2 16th notes, so on and so forth. So, when it comes to a 4/4 bar, you have 4 quarter notes or 8 eighth notes. 8 eighth notes, which you would be counting as add. So these are called straight eighth notes when it's just the regular thing. So now we would be counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. However, there is a concept known as triplets, or the academic is tupletting, which is when you squeeze more notes into the same space. So in the space of 2 eighth notes, we can bring triplets, which is 3 notes in the space of 2, which are counted number ta and ta. So, 4/4 in straight eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Very straightforward, very metronome, very rigid. Once we bring the triplets, if we count that in triplet eighth notes, 1 ta-ta, 2 ta-ta, 3 ta-ta, 4 ta-ta. It's a lot smoother, it flows a lot better, and it's just a lot more fun. So what we've done is that we went from having those very straight rhythms that we had before, because most of them were just very straight 16th notes kind of thing, to triplets now. So in a way, we've sort of slowed down the rhythm, but we're doing triplets now, which also accelerates it in a different way. Very creative. And this is, of course, the climax of the track, because we're 3 minutes into a 4-minute track. Let's see where it goes. Variation of the first motif. Nice. And now we go back to straight notes. And we are bringing as many elements as we had before. We're bringing those back. And we're just re-exploring them. Really good stuff. Here we go. And on top of that, we put a flying melody. So we're revisiting this again, and we put a flying melody on top with a theremin. By the way, theremin, one of the most bizarre instruments that exists. Look at this thing, dude. You don't touch the instrument. It's the thing that sounds like horror music, like spooky music. This is how you play a theremin. You don't touch you don't touch the instrument. It works like with radio waves or electric waves, some sort of wave length that you interrupt with your fingers. It's such a cool instrument, and we're having that as the flying melody right now to the climax. It's really cool. Revisiting the motifs. We're adding another sample. How are you gonna end this? High note. Back to this fill thing. One more time. Oh. Oh, and we bring it down with that kind of just delaying that last thing one more time. We just bring in some of the arpeggios we were doing earlier. That was really good. That was really good. That landed the ending very, very well. And there you have it. That was You Are the Miserable by t+pazolite from the game Lanota. Man, that was wild. That was awesome. Once again, everybody, this has been a Basterd's LFA layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here has been to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what's happened here musically. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you for, in the YouTube archive, thank you for watching. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, follow the channel, whatever term you want to use. Like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member, one of them paid memberships. Do not put your economic stability at risk to support me. It's nice when you give me money, but do not put yourself at risk. If you want to listen to this without me interrupting every 3 seconds, link available down below. If you want to request a song and you're not on the stream, by the way, if you're on the stream, you can start requesting now. If you're not on the stream, go to the Discord. Discord has the LFA requests channel. Follow the instructions on the pinned message over there. And, yeah, one of his best tracks, yes. And if you want to catch the streams live on air when they happen, links to the Discord and the Twitch are available down below so that you can see the streams in your local time zone. We start at 6 p.m. Central European most Monday through Fridays, Central European time. If that what time is that for you? That's what the Discord and the Twitch are for. So, yeah, there you go. There you go. That was awesome. That was really, really good. There you go. That was You Are the Miserable by t+pazolite. Really good stuff. Really, really good stuff. But yeah, let's move on.